Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have the U.S. Military Academy Black Knights 2013 performance. This was at Tulane. I forget when I judged Tulane, what year it was. Little bit of phasing, but still really effective. So you didn't need the forward march there. You didn't need it at all. You have up to a certain point you're performing some great rifle movement here. A, B drill, Y stop, and then have another command only to have more rifle work, and then stomp and step off. The stomp works really well. That's great. Nicely done. Very smooth, very clear, articulate. All right, so here, let's go back here. This was great work up to this point. I think, though, how so far forward, each one of the squads should have come up a little shorter, especially so starting with first squad. Maybe start marching at half step instead of a full step so that the others could catch up that much quicker, or even mark time, honestly, while the others come up. It's what you're doing here. Let's go back to here. So after the step off, what you're doing here is, I like that. That works. Little phasing there, but so this is a more intricate work, intricate rifle work that is quick and snappy and requires quick. It's quick movement, and the drill doesn't match that. The drill is we got to catch up, and we'll form our block. And then we'll continue. It isn't really clicking there, not matching up. So could have angled that. Let's see here. That should have worked much better than it did, honestly. Nice, different technique and yet uniform. So the movement there for to come into that offset block. A little bit of scatter drill into reforming the block. Nicely done. Commander, I appreciate your level of involvement. You're involved and yet not. And I don't mean that in a negative way at all. A commander with the sword needs to have, oh my goodness, that is me. I thought I recognized my voice. That's me judging. Okay, so I was judging in so I had no idea. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, that's me in that stupid hat. And for anybody that I offended wearing that hat, I really apologize. So let's back up here. Oh my goodness. So the commander, armed with a sword and not a rifle, needs to have a certain amount of separation, and really can't be involved that much with the performance. This level of look at technique now that I've stopped the video here. So look at the arms. There might be a slight phasing, timing. So phasing means, and I'll do it with my finger snaps. So let's say everybody is snapping. Everybody's on time and on phase. Okay. Now you can hear I'm just slightly off with one of my snaps. That's off phase. I might be getting fairly close to being on time, like footwork. As you're marching forward, you can be out of step and yet in phase. That's a great example, being out of step. Your left foot is hitting the marching surface as everybody else's right foot hits, and yet you're in phase. You're out of step, in phase. It all happens at the same time. Being in step and in phase is what we prefer. So this phasing here of the arm movement, so it could be that this cadet here is coming, he's bringing his arm, and he's going to turn his wrist so that he looks like this cadet here with the arm straight out and the palm more or less turned so that it's facing to the right. Holy cow. Imagine my surprise that you just saw. So still, that was very intricate, really well done. But still, the commander, even though part of was still separated, I appreciate it. That worked really well. That was an excellent part of the design there. So that's great. So here, the facing movement, it almost doesn't fit. You're doing some different, you've got lots of differences here. This, very different. But then you go back to that works. Although there's a different way to turn around, but there's also a different way to face. And I think really nicely done. Great articulation there. The timing works very well. So I don't think the toss worked all that well, at least for this group up here. Let's go back just a bit and watch. I'll watch another couple of groups over here on the left. So moving out. So that's not bad. However, this group up here being at the front, that's going to draw a little more attention, especially the front right. So if your audience is here, the audience design is really strange. So you have I'll call it side 1 and side 2. So there's a left side and a right side. For the audience's perspective, that's stage right and stage left. But this is light and dark. This is light and heavy. It matters where you put your elements in a performance, and it can be a little overwhelming and complicated at first, but the eyes are naturally drawn to front right. It just happens. That's whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Still, the eyes are drawn to front right, and this exchange really didn't work well. So for an exchange, you need to have that 100%, 100%. 100% of your concentration needs to be on your rifle. I'm now bringing the rifle down, and I'm looking at where I'm tossing it, but I'm concentrating on the rifle leaving my hand, and now my attention shifts to the rifle coming to me. And with a triad instead of a tetrad, a triad of 3, there's it's a unique instance where the head has to turn just a little bit more to see the rifle coming at you. And so his rifle, he didn't receive it well enough, so it was the initiator, the tosser, who actually was tossing his rifle to him, and he had to bend forward, bend his knees, catch the rifle low, so it was completely drawing the at least my attention away. So the difference there was difference is good. You're making great use of difference here. Nicely done with the aerial. A little bit of a technique issue, I think, with the toss. You could see there was a slight phasing with the rotation, but the height was just fantastic. Nice separation and then pass through for the team. That was great. Setting up a cordon, it looks like. Wow. I was judging this. Son of a gun. I had no idea this video was out there until I wanted to get some college teams critiqued. So I was going to say that I got to, when I judged Tulane, I got to meet the Black Knights, and it was a pleasure to meet this team. Well done on these tosses. Honestly, the team has evidence of an extensive amount of training and practice as well. So didn't use the cordon. You were set up to do it, so maybe... So a separation this big really can be... I'm trying to listen, see if it was... Well, a separation like this can really screw a team up, honestly, because you can't hear the other members of the team. And so your timing just gets all out of whack. But honestly, this seems to be working well. So the development of the timing here a little bit off, but the development of this line, I appreciate the design here. I think it could have happened a little faster though. So as you're coming from here, marching into this line, instead of having everybody doing the same thing, sweeping over in a kind of a J or C like movement here, I really think some of the members who are over here and over here, the very ends, they really should have made a direct line and passed even some others. It probably wouldn't have happened that they passed them, but as the teams or as the team members came into each of the positions, filling them from the inside out, which is a really nice concept there. I appreciate that. having the long line that company front made from the center and building it outward from both directions. I do like that. It's just taking a lot longer, obviously, because everybody's doing the same thing. It's taking a lot longer for the ones at the end to get into their position, which is it just takes too long, honestly. So these two right here, they should already be right here, so that it happens a little quicker. And then so these two positions that are over here that are out of frame, that it should be the same. See, there's a huge gap here. There's a fairly large gap, but then we have smaller gaps here, and that dictates the level, the timing, I guess you could say. The closer the gap in the center, that dictates the timing as to the development of this line. And so here we have the line really developing well, and then we have to wait and wait and wait and then wait even longer. And then here's the last one, not in line yet. So it really should have happened a lot faster. Excellent ripples, really well timed. Really nice. I appreciate the toss and then the turn as well. It almost looked like the rifles were being thrown. That was a great a great effect, honestly. So you know, as I talk, I'm talking about analysis and also effect. So analysis is mostly uniformity of technique for exhibition drill, and then also the design elements, and which I've talked about already. And then oh, interesting, a change of weapon for the commander. Oh, please get it on tape. Yes, good. Now that's interesting. I do appreciate it very much. So, drill team member without a rifle. So your commander stole your rifle. That's okay. But honestly, we'll see if if this position is needed, more or less, in just a minute. But I'm thinking that you could have waited back here. Probably at stand at ease, you know, ceremonial parade rest, with hands in front and just standing there, instead of trying to integrate in with you were integrated in a little bit with the feet, but nothing with arm movement or hands. And I wouldn't suggest creating a hybrid type of situation here. I just don't think it would work at all, since you're covered completely by a wall of cadets behind you. And I don't think the balance wouldn't be there with just one individual unarmed. So, and back then, 2013, I don't think hybrid was thought of by Mr. Naki yet. I'm not sure. Oh, so you are required. Gotcha. I see. So, okay, then that's fine. That's fine. So right back here then, when your commander steals your rifle, and that's great. I really do appreciate that. Honestly, that was interesting. And then having the commander integrate in You needed to march back, that's for sure, but then you should have stayed here and not done the step forward, especially with that adjustment there. So just stand. Even the foot separation there I don't think was necessary. But I do appreciate the blind toss. Commander, you did a great job. Well, actually, both of you did a fine job. Could have taken a little bit more rotation, but still. And I think drawing here would have worked well, because it would have given even more for the audience to see, but still, fine job. And then you could have ended with the going to present with these two, with the rifle up and the hand salute. I think that would have been great. And then you could have had these two, even with a Queen Anne, something different, because you had these two different, which is great. Everybody in the back, this back line at present arms, that's fine, not a problem. But maybe something a little more different up front. Carry on. So performing out would be great. Oh, and you just march off. Okay. And there I am. All right. So, surprise. I hope my hope my comments have been helpful. And I appreciate that performance. I really do. I like that sequence a lot. Couple of things to work on, but still, I do appreciate that. And I hope my comments have been helpful. I bet I still have the recording from then. I'll have to listen to what I said. Interesting. Thank you very much.